Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Football Fignuts podcast. This is Season 4, Episode 23. If you counted all of them, all 4 seasons up to now, that's 173 episodes. I'm Craig.
I'm Sinch.
And Sinch is here. Britt is taking the week off, so Sinch has happily found himself a beer and decided to join me tonight. How are you, sir?
I'm ready.
You're
ready. Let's go.
All right. Wow. For a busy guy like you sound ready. So
let's do it.
Let's get ready.
I got the beer. I already started the beer.
There we go then. As we always do. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a Double Cloud from New Park.
Oh.
It is good.
Is it?
And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing that I'm becoming one of those people, one of those old people.
Yeah.
That I need to turn on my flashlight so I could see.
Well, I mean, are you in the dark right now? Because you're not a cat. Last time I checked.
Yeah, I'm in a closet with the lights out, but I can't see. I'm not.
Is it like a double? Did I have that one before?
It is a Double Cloud.
I think I did have. I did have it before.
The can just goes from green, yellow, pink, red.
Oh, that's right.
It's like decoration.
Yep.
And it's a Double Cloud, 8%.
Nice.
And they don't give any description. I can tell you this: if I was pregnant, it would be wrong of me to drink it. I'm not pregnant.
You're not.
It's all
sure.
Good.
Okay, good.
Well, I mean, I haven't peed on anything to find out, but I'm pretty sure.
You're 99.9% sure.
Yes, I am.
So tonight, I have a beer that Britt picked up for me. He was at 12% Brewing over the weekend. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, I don't even... So time is a blur. But this is by Fat Orange Cat. It is 8.4%. It's all the cool cats, spelled with K's, on the back of the bus. So I am going to open... It's a New England-style IPA, so I'm going to open this right now and hope it doesn't explode on my computer.
All the cool cats on the back of the bus.
Yep, and it's on the can. There's a back of a school bus, but there's also a giant cat head in the school bus.
Is the giant cat head wearing a mask?
I guess if you look at it the right way, the bus is the cat's mask.
What happens if you look at it the wrong way?
Then it's just a bus with pointy ears. All right, so let me try this here. Wow, Britt was right.
Tastes like beer. What's it taste like?
No, it just tastes like juice. This is like it's very like pineapple-y juice. It's thick. It does not dry your mouth out at all. Not even a little. It's like ultra juicy. Very good.
8.4, and it's ultra juicy.
Yes.
That's a dangerous beer.
That is, because I do enjoy those kinds of beers. So I should drink this slowly.
But if you drink it quickly, you could have 2, and the second one is always better than the first.
You might be on to something. Okay. So with that, let's go on to Burning Hot Takes. Would you like to give or receive?
I'm gonna give. I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm ready.
He's
Here
ready.
we go.
Okay, let's
I'm
go.
ready. We're there. Fantasy season long. We're either starting the playoffs or next week we start the playoffs. Don't talk to me about playoffs. So, starting the playoffs. Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
You got the guys that you drafted in the first, the second, the third round, guys you thought you would be counting on.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're not really doing it for you. But you've got a guy on your bench that you picked up as a free agent who's kind of hot the last couple of weeks. Do you go with the guy that got you there? Or do you go with the guy who's hot the last couple of weeks?
I think it's going to have to be situational. So for me, and I know you're not going to like the two quarterbacks I purposely drafted were Goff and Tannehill, right? The last couple weeks, not this past week because they both actually did pretty good, but the week before that, Goff had like 9 points, and I was like, what the hell? So,
and what do I always say about him?
You say, what the hell?
I say he's not very good.
So, I picked up Captain Kirk. He's been on a hot streak lately, and I know Britt says you shouldn't play the hot hand, but I don't know. Out of the quarterbacks I've had, and with Tennessee being such a sieve of football stats lately, and they still don't seem like they're gelling very well, I think Cousins might have to stay my starter.
But this week, the Titans play the Jags.
Does
that change your mind?
True. It does a little. It does, but both of their receivers are hurt, so that's really going to depend on how A.J. Brown is. I've never been really a fantasy fan of Corey Davis, even though he had a giant week last week. And I think he's on the injured list too, so yeah.
You may have texted me once or twice about Corey Davis.
Yes.
I might remember you not liking him.
I'm over Corey Davis. You know why? Because I've drafted him since he was a rookie, and it just never... He was my Will Fuller, who actually Will Fuller I had this season, and he was doing pretty well, and then we found out that he was taking some go juice, one of the giant, somewhere in the giant list of the NFL's don't take this, and he's gone for the season, so I had to cut him. And then,
maybe I'm drinking that because I'm ready to go.
And then the other guy I picked up has COVID now, so yeah. So there's that. So what about you? Is there somebody that you're like, I'm glad I picked this guy up, or are you like, man, I wish I didn't draft this guy?
I've got so many devices open right now, and if I try and find my team, I'm going to screw everything up.
Okay, that's fair.
So from memory, here's what I had happen this past weekend. And I texted our little group to see what was the recommended way to go. I have Adam Thielen, and I have Jefferson. Jefferson's been on my bench. You don't want to start two receivers from the Vikings at the same time.
Right, unless someone... Yeah, no, you don't. You just don't.
You just don't. So I've tried to alternate and pick my spots. And Thielen missed a game. I started Jefferson. He had a really good game. So I asked you guys, should I start Jefferson or the rookie on Dallas?
Lamb.
Can't remember his name. There you go. CeeDee Lamb. I was told to start Lamb. I should have started Jefferson. He had another big week. He went over 1,000 yards already. Hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that happens. I think now, same thing. Dallas is in disarray, so yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? At the beginning of the season, when Dak was there, it was a whole different story.
It was.
Him and Cooper, and they were just...
Lamb had big games.
It was a different team entirely. If Prescott was healthy, they would win the division.
This year, definitely.
Yes.
I don't know about other years, but definitely this year.
Yeah. So that's where we are.
All right. So question from you, and this is a question from Britt, so I'll throw it out there since he's not here. So you consider the teams that we thought would, in August, right? September, beginning of the season, week 1, we were like, these teams should be okay this year. And who right now is the probably biggest hot mess of the NFL, do you think?
Well, the biggest hot mess is the Jets, but no one thought they were going to be good.
No, but a team that we thought... so say like the Bears, the Texans, the Falcons, Cowboys, maybe the Eagles. I don't know where they were on that list.
Let's make believe you don't hear the phone ringing.
It happens.
Hold on.
It happens. It's a call from somebody. We might hear Sinch's answering machine.
No, maybe. It's all good.
Okay, good.
I hit a button. Sorry about that.
That was Sinch's call that he. Phone. That was Sinch's call that he won like $30 million, and he just hung up on it.
No one calls that number twice.
See. Oh man.
Okay, so to answer your question.
Yeah. Yep.
So the team that just threw up all over themselves.
Right.
And honestly, we should have known It's the team that lost the Super Bowl, the 49ers. They're 5-7. No one saw that coming.
No, that's true. That is a team that was not on this list. Yeah.
I heard a stat today. Garoppolo, and there's an answering machine message for you.
You've won $30 million. That's right, folks. These are recorded live.
We'll do it live.
Oh, man.
Okay, so 49ers. I heard a stat today. Garoppolo, when he does not play, since he's on the 49ers, the record is something like 5-14.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's the best or even he's very good. He wins. So either they need to get rid of him because he can't stay healthy, or just accept it and get I don't even think they have a bad backup. It's just 5-14 without him.
Yeah, and Kittle's been out for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
No, the receivers have been hurt a lot. I think their defense is banged up. It's not a good.
It's just been one of those years. Yeah. You lose the Super Bowl and you fall apart.
Well, you lose a Super Bowl and then COVID happens and there's no practice, no preseason, and then everything is just.
And everybody got hurt.
Everyone got hurt.
Another team or two. A lot of people like the Chargers. Yeah. I don't know why. With Tyrod Taylor is going to be your quarterback before he got stabbed in the locker room by the team doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know, the Falcons maybe? Some people thought the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm surprised about the Falcons. Actually, I am and I'm not. Because I really thought they would be better, but I didn't think their defense was going to be this bad.
Yeah.
And Julio's, hurt every other week.
Julio left the game before the end of the game for like the third week in a row.
Yeah.
So there's a question. Here's an answer to your question with a question.
Sure.
You're in the playoffs this week. You got a big game. Can you start Julio? Can you count on him?
No. I mean,
he might play 2 plays and then leave.
Unless it's a situation where I have to, like where my backup had COVID, then no, I wouldn't.
Well, someone who has Julio drafted him with their first pick, maybe second.
Probably,
so
yes.
That's a big. You know what? They're not in the playoffs. They might think they are. I've changed it. They're not.
They are not in the playoffs.
No, you lose.
All right. So on that note, speaking of winning and losing, Sinch is going to play America's favorite game. So this week, as America's favorite game, Sinch is going to try to guess within 3 strikes which games are over 50. And right now, I will double count here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 games over 50. Can you guess all 4 of them within 3 strikes?
I'm ready.
All right. Go for it.
I will start this week the way I would start any week. I'm going to go with the Chiefs-Dolphins.
Chiefs-Dolphins? Why are the Chiefs not on this list?
They're a 1 o'clock game.
What the hell? List? Oh, you dumb jerk.
I don't appreciate that.
All right, so week 14. Let me look at this again. I don't know what. Sorry, that's my bad. I'm looking at the wrong stupid list. That just, you know what? That just goes.
What, you want to do week 13? I got a pretty good chance.
I mean, we could go backwards. All right.
Would we do week 13's list, or would we do who scored over 50 in week 13?
No, wait. Actually, the list I have is the right week. They just don't have that game here. That is stupid.
I can't even imagine why. Let's go ahead and say that that's one of them, and it's a do-over. It's a nothing.
You know what? We'll double check that one. So, yeah, go ahead.
Damn it! I'm not taking a strike.
Oh, I know why. Because this site is stupid. Never mind. You know what? Here's what happened, folks. Again, because this goes along with Sinch's answering machine. We do this live. I pulled up the site that I normally look at when I'm the host of America's Favorite Game, and it showed me week 14, but from 2 years ago. That's why I did not find the game.
Well, Craig, you've been struggling. Maybe it's because you're looking at the games from 2 years ago.
All right, so let me recount this. We're going to start America's Favorite Game over. So we have 1 and 2, 3. Yep, 3 games. So
2 years ago, my team was pretty good. Let's go back.
They were.
Won the Super Bowl.
Mine wasn't really. Yeah, so go ahead. There's 3 games.
Okay, so
my
games. First guess is the Chiefs and Dolphins.
Chiefs and Dolphins. And now, let me preface this by saying I would have picked that as well.
Oh, that means it isn't.
Right now, as of right now, it is 49.5.
Missed it by a half.
Yep. I guess they just think the Dolphins' defense is sort of good. Maybe.
It's okay. I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm here. I'm ready.
Yep. Get 2 strikes.
The Falcons, Chargers.
Strike 2. That is 49.5.
You're cheating. You're looking at the wrong year.
No, this is the right year. All
right, I got to rally then.
All right. Take a sip of beer, take a breath, and...
Breath. Yep. Got it. Man. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
Am I ready?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm ready. I thought I was ready before, and look what happened. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna say the Steelers-Bills.
Steelers-Bills. And Sinch, we have a lovely parting gift for you. It's the board game. The Steelers-Bills is 46.5.
I'm going to go ahead and claim victory. I guessed it right. I never got any wrong. Craig is trying to steal it from me.
So this week, these are some surprise games, honestly. This was a hard week for this game. So we have the Colts.
Let me come up with... Wait. Let me give you my next guess.
Sure, go ahead.
I was going to say, but I didn't. Yep. The Vikings-Bucks.
You, sir, would have been correct. That's 52.5.
I had to stick with my guy, my Brady.
So we have this one's kind of shocking to me. Well, I guess maybe not. Is the Titans at Jaguars is 53.5.
What is the line on that game? Is it Titans by 53.5?
Titans are giving 6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So what does that come out to math?
Yeah, Britt's the math guy. I was an art major.
3 is 25. Yeah, it means that they think Titans are going to beat them by 6.5. I don't know.
So the other game, Packers at Lions, is 54.5.
You know, an interesting tidbit from the Lions head coach.
The new one or the old one?
The guy that's still there, Bevel, the guy he's the interim.
Right.
I was listening to his post-game press conference because, it's a cold, dark winter here in hell. So one of the first things he said, and this was his first game as head coach, he said, we decided we're going to go ahead and let Matt Stafford play. I took that, reading between the lines, as Matt...
Sorry, I was drinking beer when you said that.
All right, hang in there.
Yeah.
I read that to be Matt Patricia was handcuffing Stafford and not letting him, and just not letting him loose, not letting him cook. So
no, I agree with that statement.
And Stafford threw for 400 yards, so maybe there's something to it.
True. And the Packers' run defense isn't spectacular, and Swift may play this week, so possibly play. I hope he does, because I have him.
Another great stat I heard.
Yeah.
If Swift doesn't play, Adrian Peterson would play.
Yes.
Adrian Peterson, who's been in the league since the 80s.
It feels that way.
The last 2 games, he's had 2 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. First time in his career he's ever done that.
Really? He
Doesn't
never
even
did that
seem
in
possible.
Minnesota? Really?
Now, I haven't fact-checked it. That's something I heard.
I feel like that can't be right.
I'm claiming it's true.
Okay. Well, we will fact-check that. That's a really hard stat to believe. Okay,
I agree.
The last game on the list, and tell me if you would have ever considered this one, Colts at Raiders is a 51. With the Colts giving the Raiders 2.5.
Generally speaking, I say take the over in pretty much every game every week. Because, you're talking about a 26-25 game. That's not crazy.
No.
That's not too much scoring.
So here's an example. The Jets at Seahawks is 47.5. You going to take the over in that game?
I would, because, I could see Russell Wilson, the Seahawks bouncing back. They need a win. They need a prove it to you that we're better than what we've shown kind of win. I could see Metcalf going off, Lockett having a game. Lockett hasn't had a good game in like 6 weeks now. I could see them scoring 35, 40. And the Jets, in garbage time, they'll score a couple of times. So, I would take the over.
That makes perfect sense.
You know what Britt always says. You take the deed to the house and you put it on this game on the over.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what he says. And then
just like Buster Olney said, he said you could bet the family farm the Mets are signing Springer. I hope he's going to have a place to stay in a couple of weeks because I would like Springer to be on the Mets.
And then one of the lowest games this week is, as probably no shock to anyone, Cowboys at Bengals, 43.5. God, so bad. Like, why can't they just manage properly? Like, you drafted the best quarterback to come out of college in years, and then you didn't have a good offensive line, and you didn't really.
But see, you know what? This is where I blame the coach. Because they could have worked around that.
They could have just ran more.
Well, they could have had 2 guys go out in a running pattern. 2 guys run a pattern, everybody else max protect. Instead, they were sending 4 receivers, 5 receivers.
Yeah.
You already killed Joe Mixon.
Yep.
That poor train blew up.
Yep. At least thank God Gio's still there. He's been trying.
Here's the question for you.
Yeah.
You're a Bengals fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink.
I haven't looked up salaries on DraftKings yet.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys defense doesn't stop anyone. You gonna use AJ Green this week? You gonna use Boyd this week?
I'd have to look at the salaries, but Boyd's a possibility. I don't know about AJ. I don't know what they're doing. It seems like they don't even want to get him involved. So I don't really know what's going on there.
It doesn't bother you that they got the kid from some Cincinnati high school playing quarterback there now?
Oh, it does. It does. It bothered me that they let Dalton go and then put all of their money on Burrow, assuming he was never going to get hurt. And then the backups are, again, everyone in the NFL was good enough to get there, but are they good enough to be a starter? Not really. So they definitely
unless you're the Giants backup, in which case you're probably just as good, if not better, than the starter. So go ahead, you could start and beat Seattle.
Hey, you know what? That was the first time Colt McCoy has won a game he started in probably 5 years. So
they should start him more often, I guess. He's on a roll. So he's got 1 in a row.
Right now, Dallas is 3-9. And they're playing the Bengals, who are 2-9-1. Wow.
I do realize that.
Just wow.
I got one even better for you.
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks, the Sunday night game
Yeah.
was supposed to be the Cowboys 49ers.
Yep.
Sunday Night Football flexed out of that game.
Now I hope so.
San Francisco, Dallas, even when both of them stink, that's too big. A lot of fan base there,
Mm-hmm.
So they flexed out. and the game they picked to put on is the Giants and the Browns.
You know what? After the Giants' impressive win over Seattle, that may not be a bad game. I'll be rooting for the Giants, but we'll see what happens.
I guess you could only hope that the Giants win another game this week so that it looks more. It looks like something you would be interested in watching. If the Giants come out and who were they playing this week? Do you remember? I got the schedule. They're okay. The Cardinals are at the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Giants could win that game. It could happen.
It depends. Arizona, they had a rough couple weeks, so maybe.
If Arizona bounces back in a big way this week, next week, Giants and Browns, it doesn't look as good.
True. And one other thing about quarterback, now that Dallas is playing Cincinnati, you know, would be awesome if Andy Dalton can just play quarterback for both teams. That I would be perfectly okay with that. Just
Do you remember when you were a kid,
switch
you'd
helmets.
have the automatic quarterback?
Yep, exactly. Just, you know what, he does just wear like a white uniform and just switch helmets. That's it.
No, he could wear the red shirt, the non-contact.
There you go. Exactly.
Nobody wants to hurt their own quarterback.
Right.
How many picks do you think he'd have?
For who?
For both teams. 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the day.
It's 64-52. Andy Dalton has passed for 830 yards.
If he throws a pick 6, he would celebrate because, after all, his team just got a touchdown.
Exactly. And on that note, let's get to quarterbacks and the metric. So, did you look at the metric at all this week yet?
You know, it's been crazy busy.
You are a busy guy during the day.
I'm going to pull it up right now. I haven't looked.
That's cool. So there's some new names in the metric because someone has a new starting job. And that someone is Jalen Hurts.
I wish it was me because I'll tell you, I'd like a different job.
Yeah, Sinch's job is not fun in the month of December.
No one cares. It's fine.
I care.
I'm ready. Let's move it along. Let's go. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts has a new starting job. The Carson Wentz experiment seems to be over in Philly. And the question is, will Carson go somewhere else next year? So right now, Jalen Hurts' salary...
Can I share my thoughts on that? I
sure.
texted it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wentz, when he had his best year, when he was winning in the MVP category, when he had his knee broken in half, his offensive coordinator was Frank Reich.
Yes.
So the Colts have Phillip Rivers. Is he on a 1-year deal? I think it's a 1-year deal.
I think it's one. It's either one or
Phillip
two.
Rivers
it's
was
short.
done 3 years ago, so they're looking for someone.
I mean, the Colts aren't doing bad right now for the Colts.
I can't even get near what the salary cap implications are when a player's traded. I have no idea. Yeah. I'm just wondering, would a 5th-round pick get you Wentz if you're Philly just to get rid of him?
If you can afford it, if the other team can afford it, maybe.
Well, they have nobody at quarterback. If Rivers is a 1-year deal and he's gone, every team spends $20 million on their quarterback. So
yeah, I have no idea who their backup is.
It is Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, that's right.
And he doesn't make a lot of money.
He's still there. That could be interesting. Or do you want him on do you want Wentz on the Patriots?
Ideally, what I want is I want a drafted guy that you can go through, like what you're doing with Burrow, where you kind of go through, hey, look, this guy's really good. They said he was good, and look, he's good. Look, he could do that. He could make that throw. I'd kind of like to go that way where you could lose with a guy who's in his first year.
Yeah.
And he's in his first year, and he's going to be better next year. You could lose with a guy like that.
True.
If you get a guy like Wentz who's on his second go-round now, I don't want to lose anything with that guy.
And he's broken. He's
that guy
very broken.
No better.
He has the other injury after his knee, he has a cracked spine. That's not good. It's not.
And
good.
now he's got the Jim Everett happy feet where he's seeing shadows where no one is there.
I'm telling you,
he's been hit too many times.
When you get hurt that much, it's in your head. Like
you don't want to get hurt
hit again.
anymore. Please stop hitting me.
He's like, blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
Just throw it anywhere.
All right. So sorry. So got sidetracked. Anyway, Jalen Hurts right now is at the top of the matrix. Wow. Top of the metric. We have him slated for 16.8 points.
Am I looking at the wrong week?
Week 14 of this year.
Yeah. I don't even see his name.
I have it sorted by value.
I got it. I don't know what I was looking at.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, I see him now. I got it.
So
I'm okay.
We have him at the top value play at 5,100. We have him at 3.29x, so that is a possibility because they're playing New Orleans. We're going to, you have to decide if you want to take the risk on Jalen Hurts starting his first game, see what happens. Next on the list is Mike Lennon. He's playing Tennessee, and like I said before, Tennessee is I don't know, they're in a fog.
They have the worst pass defense in the league.
I don't know what's happening with that team, honestly. And the next two on the list is Drew Lock is playing Carolina. Again, they lost Christian McCaffrey, which he was their entire team. Not sure what's happening there. And then Matt Stafford, as Sinch said before, is now going to be allowed to play. It's a divisional game against Green Bay. He is 5,700 though, so a little bit pricier, but not too bad. Is there anyone you like this week?
I would be leaning towards either Tannehill against the Jags or Russell Wilson against the Jets.
And you're okay spending up for them? You get a little more salary into QB this week?
Usually what I like to do is I like to spend money on the quarterback because that's a position where if you're spending high on Mahomes, he's not going to give you 12 points. You're going to get a return. So that's one position that I lean towards spending a lot of money.
No, that's fair because Russell Wilson is 79, and then Tannehill is a little cheaper depending on how you want to do it this week. He's 6,700, so he's right below the 3x mark. So that could work too. Either one of those could work.
Another guy I like because I've liked him all year long is Herbert with the Chargers. Playing Atlanta, their defense is terrible.
True.
Plus, they're coming off a really bad, where they just nothing fired kind of week. So football players don't need incentive. They want to play, but there's incentive when you get beat 45-0. So they're going to want to come out, I would think, and play better than 45-0.
That's true. That is very true. Excuse me. So on to running back. Right now, the oracle that is the metric, there's only one running back slated for 3x, and that running back is Devin Singletary playing Pittsburgh. But here's the thing about, now you're going to say, well, Pittsburgh's defense is pretty good. Here's the thing about Pittsburgh. They just lost to a team with no name. Okay. Buffalo is actually a very good team. So, but the key here is his salary is 4,300. So he only has to get to 12, 13 points. So that's something to really consider. And then the next down on the list would be David Montgomery playing Houston, but you're going to pay another 2,200 for him. And then you could always go chalk with Derrick Henry, again playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville is not stupendous. But, he's 8,700. So there's that. So anyone you like this week in particular?
I like J.D. McKissick with the Washington team.
4,900. Good way to save money.
I'm blanking on his name. The starter. I even have him on my teams, and I'm blanking on his name.
What team?
The Washington team. The guy that's the usual number one starter. And McKissick is kind of his backup. Barber. Is that his name?
Gibson?
Gibson. There's a lot of Barbers.
There are. I think Gibson's broken, though.
What I was implying is that Gibson cuts hair. So anyway, Gibson has a severe turf toe.
Yes.
So that's why I say I like McKissick, because he'll have the opportunities. He's not super expensive. That's one way you could go.
Okay.
Another guy I might like if I'm going kind of cheaper would be Wayne Gallman, playing Arizona. He's 5,700. I don't know. He's not someone who I would be locked in on. Just I could see Arizona isn't great stopping the run. So maybe I go Gallman. He had a big week this past week. So
nice. There's always Giovanni Bernard. He's playing Dallas. He's only 5,000. Maybe cheap play there.
It's not the way I'm gonna go.
I know.
You know what drives me nuts? When guys like David Montgomery, who's had, one or two good weeks in his career, he's 6,500. Come on. He's not that good.
Yeah, but he's the only one running the ball. I blame Sean, personally.
It's Sean's fault.
It really is. You know what else is his fault? Receivers. So right now, the number one receiver on the metric playing Tampa Bay is your friend and mine, Justin Jefferson, slated for 26.5 points. His salary is $7,400, so that's over 3.5x value. So again, if you want to go a little bit chalky on receiver, that's definitely someone to consider. The next one down is Michael Gallup. He's slated for almost 12 points. Here's the thing about him: he's 3,800. He could be a sneaky value play, especially at that low.
Let me jump in.
Yeah, sure.
And tell you why you should not use Justin Jefferson.
Why?
Here's why.
Okay.
So they're playing Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Jefferson just had a big week this past week.
Yep.
He's a rookie. Rookies are inconsistent, even the good ones. So instead of spending $7,400, go ahead, pay up. Spend the $9,300, get Devontae Adams. Or if you don't like that, you think that's too much money, Adam Thielen is $7,000. He's $400 cheaper than Jefferson. Another guy I like this week is Keenan Allen. Again, back to the Chargers, who had a bad week this past week, playing Atlanta with their defense. So those are the high-priced guys.
That's true. Then there's Tim Patrick. Who's that guy?
Oh, he's good.
He's on Denver playing Carolina. He's 4,200. Again, another cheap play. He is a free agent, and I want him on my team next year. Oh, maybe it will happen.
I've been scouting him.
I could tell.
I keep trying to tell the Patriots I've been scouting this guy. They don't take my calls.
Maybe that was them calling you before.
I don't think they take me seriously.
T. Higgins playing Dallas. As we all know, Dallas's defense is not good. Even though, the Bengals have severe quarterback issues, they still have to throw the ball. T. Higgins is 4,800. And how do you feel about this? How do you feel about where'd it go on my list here? How do you feel about Denzel Mims playing Seattle? He's only 4,100. Would you use him?
No, I wouldn't. And let me tell you why.
Why?
Because I used him last week, and he made me angry. He hurt my feelings. We're not friends anymore. I'm not using him.
All right. That is, what? In fantasy, in DFS, that is a fair assessment.
So wait, I got a question for you now.
Yeah.
Boyd is $100 more expensive than T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick one of the two, who would you pick?
I think I would go with the cheaper option.
It's $100. Though.
It is, but you know what? That could matter depending on what you're trying to do. And honestly, whoever's going to be the Bengals quarterback is going to throw to either one of them. So, or Drew Sample. Honestly, since we're going right into tight ends, Drew Sample has gotten a lot more looks since Burrow's gotten hurt. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, onto tight end. That was a good segue.
Good job, right?
Thanks. The metric has Dalton Schultz as the top tight end this week, playing Cincinnati. He's
that's good.
He's 3,500, so definitely on the cheaper end of tight end. The next one down is Logan Thomas, who's $200 cheaper at 33. The cheap ultra value play would be Jordan Akins at 2,900, playing Chicago. Any tight ends that you enjoy this week?
Tight end is a position in DFS that I tend to not spend a lot of money on.
Okay.
There's a fine line between that 4,000 and that 4,500.
So you're telling me you're not going to use Travis Kelce at 7,400?
No. But again, just like with the quarterback, you spend that money, you're getting a return. He's not going to let you down. It's just you're giving up somewhere else.
Very true.
I think I might go with Noah Fant, and he's 4,100. He's playing against Carolina this week, and Carolina's entire team has COVID. So
that's true. So who knows who on Carolina is actually going to play this week?
But I like Fant. He's a good guy.
There you go. He's a favorite of mine too. And on that note, we get to defenses, everyone's favorite topic. There really is no, as per usual, there's really no 3x value in defense this week. So right now, the top 3 defenses would be the Cowboys, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. The Cowboys are the cheapest, the cheaper option at 2,400. Cardinals are 27. The Seahawks are 3,000. They're each playing not stupendous teams, but Dallas's defense isn't really good either. So I always tend to leave defenses last.
Yes, spend as little as you have to.
That's true.
I like Denver this week. They're playing Carolina. They're 2,500.
And they're at Denver, right? So that's not a bad play.
No, Denver. So I said I like Denver.
Right, but they're saying they're at Denver. Denver's home.
No, they're at Carolina.
Oh, they're at Carolina. Okay. So yeah, defenses, I don't know. Some people get lucky and defenses have ultra good games and have like a pick six and fumble recovers, but it doesn't really happen a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, we are actually out of time. Kind of sad. It goes by quick,
It does. It flies.
It does. It really does. I just want to say hi, Deb. Now, Deb's a little behind on her podcast, and she's not commuting like mostly everyone else.
Did you just say hi to Deb's little behind?
Wow. I wonder if she'll actually listen to this and notice that.
I may have missed 1 or 2 words in there, but I could have swore hi,
no,
Deb.
I just said hi,
behind.
Deb. No, I said she's a little behind in her podcast listening.
This Go Juice I'm drinking is crazy.
Wow. How much beer did you have? No, it's okay.
It's a double, so that's like 2.
So on to final thoughts. Any bear-infused final thoughts for you, sir?
Here's an out there final thought.
Mm-hmm.
This past weekend, a guy crawled up through the artificial turf and exposed himself to the world again. His name is T.Y. Hilton. He's been invisible for like a season and a half now, but he went off this week. Here's the thing with T.Y. Hilton. I don't think you could pick him up as a free agent. Well, maybe you can. He's been that bad. Whenever he plays the Texans, he's crazy. He's like the best receiver in the world against the Texans. Now, the Colts don't play the Texans this week, but next week they do. So if you're one of these teams that's in a season long and your playoffs are coming up, that might be a guy to pick up and just put on your bench. I'm not saying use him this week, but if you go by history, he kills the Texans. You could look it up. That's my final thought.
You might be onto something, actually.
No one's going to look it up, so I could be pulling this out of my ass. It really doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, look it up because it's true.
It's true. It's damn true. And you know what? Just want to say happy birthday to Kurt Angle. He's always was a favorite wrestler of ours. He's Brit's favorite. Was Brit's favorite wrestler. Great athlete. Great entertaining. It's his birthday, so happy birthday to him.
If he walked into my house, I would not know who he is. But nonetheless, it's his birthday. So happy birthday to him.
Exactly. And that was actually my final thought. And furthermore, please, if you enjoy this podcast, please leave us a review. Mostly on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher, Player FM, iTunes. Well, we're actually like everywhere. Google Podcasts. I do have to fix the link in our site for that. So just leave us a review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like.
Hey, Craig, before we sign off.
Sure.
So a lot of teams, a lot of leagues started playoffs this week.
Yep.
And all year long, they were riding guys like Herbert, who had like no points, or Derrick Henry, who had a really bad week this past week. Mm-hmm. If you're going to call in and leave a message and not call in, if you're going to write in and leave a review, here's what you need to do. Leave us the message of who killed you and how. I want to hear the worst possible, this guy screwed me and my team out of the playoffs kind of story. I don't even care about the review.
We all have one, especially this time of year. There's that one guy you're like, this is going to be it. I'm going to draft him championship. And now it's like, damn it.
That's why I'll never use Mike Evans again. And that's dating back like 3 years now.
And that's how I feel about Will Fuller now. Yeah, sad. Very sad. All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for Sinch for joining me tonight.
Thank you for allowing me.
No, thank you, sir. Anytime. And remember, you can also find us at fignutsdfs.com and on Twitter and Facebook. And on that note, I'm Craig.
I'm Sinch.
And this has been the Football Fignuts Podcast.